I'm Bambi Francisco, and I'm speaking with Ethan Anderson. He's a co-founder of Redbeacon, a startup based in San Mateo, and it helps you to find local services. Ethan, you have a couple of announcements today.
We do. We have a couple of big announcements. One is that Redbeacon is now moving into the social realm. We're going to allow our users who are looking for local services to now get the opinions and the advice of their friends and family. Well, using their Facebook social connections that already exist, will allow them to post their request to their Facebook wall, and then their friends can come in and vote on their choices. They can vote thumbs up or thumbs down, or leave a comment about each of the options under consideration. So, for example, let's say you need a personal trainer, and 5 or 6 personal trainers responded to your request on Redbeacon and left you a price quote. And you're thinking, wow, there's ratings and reviews, there's profiles and pictures, but I have some friends that I would like to have take a look at this job and help me decide. Now they can come in and cast their opinion and then help you make your decision. So this does a couple of things. One is, we've already found that people love to share advice and recommendations through their social networks. They like to ask their social networks for help, and so this allows them to do that.
Right, I was going to say that how are you going to get the friends? I mean, are the friends really going to be incentivized to comment on maybe personal trainers, but certainly not carpet cleaners? You're not going to get your friends to chime in on which carpet cleaner to get. Right,
it's possible. We have to see. Anytime you launch a new feature, you kind of have to wait and see how people use it. But a couple of things that we do know. One is that a study came out from Razorfish that over 70% of people share a recommendation with their social network at least once every few months. Another thing is that we found that people like getting advice in their social networks versus search engines because they feel like their subjective opinions that search engines can't answer. They think that their friends kind of trust them and they trust their friends, right? And their friends know them, so the context is there. The friends can give you a recommendation that they know is suited for you.
What can you do to help a person's friends provide a recommendation?
Yeah, well, so one of the things that we do is we post this to their Facebook wall, and it creates sort of a comment that says something like, Bambi needs your help choosing a personal trainer. Please help her by clicking here and take a look at her options. So your friends want to help you because they're your friends.
And it's just because they're your friends?
Just because they're your friends, they want to help out. And I think that there's something about human nature where people like giving other people advice. It kind of makes them feel like, oh, I'm important. Like, you turned to me because you needed my help.
Right. Let's get some background on Redbeacon. You won the TC50 last year in 2009, so congratulations. You've been running on $50,000. Each one of the founders have put in $50,000. And so how has it been going since you've been...
It's been going really well. We kind of took a phase after TechCrunch 50 to launch the product and really learn about what was working, what wasn't. One of the things that we realized is that it's very easy to sign up service professionals. They love this business. It's very convenient for them to quote on prices, jobs kind of just fall into their lap via email or text message. So we were able to sign up over 1,000 service providers in the first month alone.
How many do you have today?
Now we have multiple thousands just in the Bay Area. So this is our focus market. We decided to focus just on the Bay Area initially and make sure the product was working well and try to understand our users' behavior before we raised a lot of venture capital and start to scale across the rest of the country.
I mean, there is a problem with a lot of the local business. I know with Yelp, I know with another company called Thumbtack that's maybe also competing in some ways. One of the challenges is really building a critical mass of service providers. So it's smart that you are focusing on San Francisco, but what is your strategy to attract more service providers?
Right. So we have a number of things. One is that we found in the Bay Area that it was very efficient to do this outbound marketing to service providers to let them know we're launching this product. It's free to sign up and free to get job leads and free to quote on them because there's no risk for them. And so that was very effective. Secondly is we think that some of the social integration things that we're doing will, for example, the thing we're launching today that we're announcing allows your friends also to recommend a service provider that they use. So we think that's actually a very interesting viral way.
How will you convert that service provider to use your service?
Because the way it works is that Redbeacon will then send them a message saying, hey, we have a personal trainer job for you to do. Your friend recommended you for it. Click here to put a price quote in. They don't even have to be registered for Redbeacon. They go and they look at the job. They say, this is something that I think I would like to, to serve, a person I would like to serve. And then they sign up after they've quoted. So we use the carrot of a real job to get them to sign up.
And the business model, by the way, for the service provider, they don't post and they give you a fee based on it's almost sort of a CPA. Sort of
yeah, it's kind of a CPA because if they win the job and they book the appointment online through Redbeacon, then they pay us a 10% commission. Otherwise, they pay nothing.
And how is that different from, say, Thumbtack, which also allows you to book services online with local service providers?
So, I mean, I'm not the expert on Thumbtack, but one of the things that I believe is that we focus more on kind of the matching algorithms of understanding your specific service need and what a specific service provider can provide. And we make that match, and we invite only the ones who matched for your job to leave a price quote. And so you actually get a price quote that's specific to your job, and you can book the appointment online with them because the service provider tells you the time they'll come to do your job, and all you have to do is click accept, and the appointment is booked. And so I think those two things kind of differentiate us a little bit from Thumbtack.
Okay.
The other part is that, and this is the second part of our announcement, which we haven't talked about yet, is we are moving into a distributed strategy as well, where we can partner with other online communities and other social networks and embed the Redbeacon experience into those groups as appropriate.
And it's a white label experience and sort of a SaaS model.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So kind of our launch partner that we're announcing today is BigTent, which is a leading provider of social groups, communities. They essentially host them. One of their real sweet spots is mothers clubs, and that's a great demographic for Redbeacon because, as a mom, you might know, the moms tend to get a lot of local services for their household, for the family, and so we love to reach them. Now, when the mothers go to the online mothers group hosted by BigTent, Redbeacon will be there embedded in the experience saying, do you need a local service? Click here through our partner Redbeacon. And so we've reached the moms, and the second thing is that the moms in the group can vote on which service providers they like. And so when you are then making your decision, you'll see 3 mothers from your mother's club also recommend this service professional. So that gives you more confidence to make your decision.
Okay. Last question. You have been pretty much self-funded for a while. So now I'm sure there's some venture funding in your near future. What are you looking to raise, and what would you do with that money?
Well, at this point, one of the reasons why we waited so long after TC50 to raise venture funding is we wanted to prove that our model worked. And we wanted to prove both to ourselves and to the investors so that it wasn't just a leap of faith. We feel like now, in the 6 months since launching, we've done that, and we have a model that we think is replicable. We've proven it here in the Bay Area, and we want to scale. For instance, one of the things that we will show is that 100% of service requests that go in receive price quotes from local service providers. So a lot of people were really worried in the beginning that, oh, this thing won't scale because local businesses won't want to participate, or the chicken and egg problem is really challenging. In fact, we overcame that.
How many of those service requests or price quotes actually got a job, or how many service providers actually got customers?
A lot, yeah. It's pretty funny because some of our service providers have told us that they love Redbeacon so much they've actually gone out and bought smartphones so they can respond real time while they're on a work site to the requests because it's become a great way for them to get jobs.
Okay, well, good. I'll be using it.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ethan. I've been speaking with Ethan Anderson. He's the co-founder of Redbeacon. I'm Bambi Francisco.